All right, let's get straight to it. This isn't about feeling better. This is a blueprint for control. We're about to unpack a set of principles designed to completely erase hesitation and forge a new kind of confidence, one that commands attention without ever asking for it.
I want you to really think about this question. Why does this happen all the time? Well, it's often because they just project more certainty. They act like they deserve to win. And you know what? The world often just agrees with them. It's not always about who has more merit, it's about who has the appearance of absolute conviction.
And this lays out the conflict perfectly. On one side, you have the brilliant but hesitant person, always overthinking, always waiting for the perfect moment. And on the other side, someone who might be less skilled, but they act with total, unshakable certainty. In this world, power doesn't flow to the most deserving, it flows to the most certain. Confidence stops being just a feeling and becomes a weapon.
So where do you even begin this transformation? Well, the very first battle is internal. You have to confront that part of you that's been conditioned to constantly seek approval and ask for permission. This is a war for your own mental freedom.
So let's put a name to our antagonist. We'll call it the inner servant. You know that voice in your head? The one that's been programmed to please people, to submit, to flinch when someone judges you, and to wait for permission to act? Yeah, that's it. That's the source of all your hesitation.
And here are its telltale signs. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Apologizing before you even speak? Constantly looking for approval or waiting for that green light from someone else? These are the exact habits we need to identify and, well, eliminate.
And the command for dealing with this inner servant is brutally simple. A thought, a habit, a tendency. If it makes you shrink, if it makes you feel small in any way, the rule is to kill it. No questions asked. This is all about defying that version of you that still wants to serve.
Okay, so once you start that internal war, how does it translate to the outside world? Well, you have to forge your external armor. This is all about projecting power through the way you carry yourself and the way you speak.
And here are the practical, actionable steps. First, you have to master silence. Let other people get uncomfortable and reveal their own insecurities. Second, control your posture. Move with deliberation, take up space. Third, lower your vocal pitch, speak with a calm finality. And last, eliminate all that soft language. No more I thinks, maybes, or pointless apologies.
This right here, this is the essence of the entire philosophy. See, true power isn't loud or frantic. It doesn't chase anything. It creates this quiet, powerful gravity that pulls people in and makes them question their own position just by being in your presence.
Let's dig a little deeper into that voice. A voice of command is slow, it's calm. Every sentence you speak should sound like a conclusion, not an invitation for a debate. You get rid of all those verbal escape hatches like, I think, or just saying. And if someone challenges you, you don't argue, you don't defend. You simply state your position and move on. Your reality is not up for negotiation.
This brings us to the most advanced stage. I mean, it's one thing to project confidence, but it's a whole other ballgame to become genuinely immune to manipulation. This is about mastering your internal emotional world.
Because here's the cold hard truth. If your confidence is just a performance, it's fragile. It's just decoration. If an insult, or hey, even a compliment, can knock you off balance and make you react emotionally, then you're completely exposed. You are still manageable.
This table breaks down the shift perfectly. The servant reacts emotionally. An insult makes them defensive. Praise makes them soft and compliant. But the ruler calculates. An insult isn't a wound, it's just data. Praise isn't affection, it's a motive that you need to analyze. You still feel everything, of course, but you act on nothing unless it serves your purpose.
So how do you actually build this internal fortress? Well, it starts by completely abandoning the need to be understood by others. That's a huge vulnerability. Next, you have to neutralize the fear of rejection. And finally, you break the habit of emotional reaction. You have to treat your mind like a fortress, not a public park. You control who and what gets in.
And that leads us to the final and maybe the most powerful concept of them all. How to take the one thing most people are terrified of, rejection, and reframe it as a strategic tool.
So let's just ask that fundamental question. What is rejection really? I mean, most of us see it as a personal failure, as a wound. But this philosophy demands a totally different perspective.
And here it is, the reframe. Rejection is not an insult, it's intel. It is raw data telling you that someone else believes they hold a stronger position than you. That's not a judgment on your worth, it's a map of the current power dynamic. And now, that's information you can use.
So this is the process for actually weaponizing it. It all starts with appearing completely unaffected. If you show pain, you're surrendering control. Then you withdraw your presence strategically and let your absence create a vacuum. Internally, the story shifts. You weren't rejected, you simply outgrew their game. You use that clarity to sharpen your focus and increase your value, so that when you do reappear, it's not for revenge. It's because your success has become undeniable.
And that's the key distinction, right there. Revenge is a sign of weakness. It's just an emotional reaction. True power is always calculated. You don't get back at anyone. You simply evolve so far beyond their reach that their rejection of you becomes completely and totally irrelevant.
So I want you to remember this. You weren't rejected. You were redirected. Redirected towards a path that forges a stronger, more resolute version of yourself, one that no longer waits around to be chosen.
And this is the identity that emerges from that fire. You become emotionally unreachable because no one can trigger you anymore. Strategically untouchable because all your moves are calculated. You're unforgettable because your absence is deeply felt. You stop looking for approval from others because you have finally become the standard.
Which leaves us with one final question. After dismantling all that old programming, after you've killed the inner servant, you're left with a choice. Who will you build in its place? That is the ultimate exercise of power.